Hello and welcome to what will be a massive grand final edition of the Same Game Multi podcast. Going to have a look at the big game this weekend between the Rabbitohs and the Panthers. Going to have a look who's in and who's out. Chez has got all the news from the sheds. We've also got 3 of a kind, 21 and done. Beer of the week is back, so make sure you stay on side because we're about to kick off. As I welcome in to my right, Mr. Bertman, and to my left, Mr. Cherry. How are we, boys?
Marvellous. Sensational.
For those of you that usually listen to our show via Spotify and or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts, got some very exciting news. This is our very first YouTube edition of the show, gentlemen. So if you do regularly listen to us on one of those platforms, head on over to YouTube. The link is on our webpage, and you can see our ugly mugs. And, looking forward to it, boys.
Get around it. Going to be some fun times happening.
Big episode, boys, coming up with the grand final. Obviously, the two best teams are there, left over from the 25 rounds that we've had and the 3 rounds of the finals. Just before we jump into that, boys, we're just going to promote a few other little things and just let the listeners and the viewers out there know a few things about what we got going on in our space of the Same Game Multi podcast. Very exciting. As I said, first ever YouTube episode. Bear with us. We're not used to the camera. We're all a bit camera shy, so we will get better as time goes on. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Very much appreciate that. And the other thing that we need to let you know about is TopSport. We mentioned it last week. TopSport have come on as our major sponsor of the show. Great Aussie company, and they're going to be great support for us moving forward. So there's a link to TopSport's account on our website. It is an affiliate link, so we may be paid a commission if you do use that link. So make sure you head on over there, click that, sign up, and get betting for the grand final. They've got top odds all day, every day, so really looking forward to that. Anything else, boys, you want to hit them about the Same Game Multi-Club member with the website, boys?
Yeah, get involved, get yourself out there. That way you can keep up to date when we're posting and whatever else and all the news that we have around the game. Also, too, get on to TopSport. Plenty of good markets out there. One of the best in the game in my eyes, that's for sure.
We still do have some spots left too, don't we, for the free multi giveaway?
Absolutely.
I do believe. So make sure you get in now and sign up for that as well. And if you're in that the first 10, you will get your free multi.
Just with that as well, when you do sign up to become a SGM club member, you will get sent an email, but just check your junk email. We've had a few people say that it's been going to their junk. Don't know why. Obviously, anything we produce isn't trash, so it should be going straight to the inbox and marked as a favourite. If you do find it there, just mark it as not junk, and that way next time we send it out, it'll be in your inbox. Also, boys, just before we move on, obviously this is the last edition for the for the NRL season, but we've got some very exciting news for the listeners. We understand that we've become a part of your week, and we don't want to leave you hanging. So what we've decided to do is we're going to do a summer edition of the show moving forward. So we'll be back next week. We're going to look at any sport that's coming up on the weekend. If it's a big race, a big UFC, a big boxing, big darts, big soccer, cricket, whatever, we're going to cover everything. So we're going to transition from a rugby league podcast into an all-sport podcast. Still going to do some betting as well, find a bit of value in the market. So stay with us. We're not going anywhere. We love doing this show, and we're here for the long haul. So
yeah, make sure you stay tuned, especially towards the end of October. I believe I'll be having some big multis out there, anywhere from about 8 to 16 leggers. So make sure you're listening because there will be some money to be made.
They'd be all darts too, I'd imagine. I had a couple myself over the last couple of weekends. Missed out by one leg in one of them and got the chockies in the other. So, yeah, stay on board. Keep an ear out. Keep a listen to what we've got coming up. There's plenty coming up. I'll be touching on a bit of soccer, or as the people in Europe call it, a bit of football, etc. We'll be all over the whole lot of it, yeah.
And regular listeners of the show will know the concept of our podcast, but for those of you that are new and may not, so basically throughout the NRL season, we've been putting multis on each of the games. So there's been 8 games in a regular round, and what we also do is give a Hail Mary and also a sure thing. $5 on each, that's 8 bets, that's $50. No, that's 10 bets, that's $50. As I mentioned before, TopSport have come on as a major sponsor of the show, And if you didn't have enough reasons already to sign up to Top Sport, this is just another one. What we've done, what Top Sport's going to do is each week they're going to fund the three of us $50 each to bet with, and all the money that we win is going to go to one of our chosen charities, which is just fantastic. You know, Tristan Merlehan at Top Sport's just been great with that. So each week we'll have $50 to play with. Whatever we win at the end of maybe 6 months or whatever, we're going to donate to one of our chosen charities. We will have a little bit of banter back and forth and a bit of a leaderboard coming to our website soon, so you can see who's on top and maybe get on their bets other than someone else's. So great. Thanks to Top Sport again, boys.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, thank you, Tristan and the team for getting behind us and putting a little bit of faith. Just gives us that little bit extra boost. So we'll see if we can get some goods for him.
Yeah, they actually kicked that off last week for us, didn't they? And for once, I'm actually leading something, which is a nice change. It's a real good feeling, actually.
Yeah, Ches got one up last week. I think it was Pappenhausen and Turbo both to get a try, and he's sitting pretty on about $150 there at the moment. So pretty happy with that to kickstart the tally, boys.
Plenty more to come, hopefully, too.
Fingers crossed.
All right, let's jump into last week's games, boys. Our regular segment, Player of the Round. Who you've got?
He's going to feature a lot, I think, with my list today. It's Cody Walker. I think he's just playing out of his skin. Really stepped up there with the kicking side of things with Reynolds. They had to get Blake Taft to take the goals and everything. Cody Walker took the role of in-game kicker. And I think with those bullet-like passes he throws, like they're just so accurate, and they just change our wing defence quickly. Everyone starts to panic. And they just don't have the time to shuffle across to make those tackles and block the wingers there when they get those sharp balls from him. And like his daily endpoints were high as well. And as I said, he's going to feature in a few of my things today. So keep your ears open because you could get a bit of coin back from him for this week's game.
Yeah, well, I've gone the same. Cody Walker, I was sort of tempted a bit back and forth between him and Adam Reynolds. I thought Adam Reynolds was unbelievable last week. But yeah, I think he's just nudged him too. His form last week, his try assists and everything like that, were in my eyes was unreal. And it's plays like that. The other thing is too, when he plays good, Cook plays good, and they sort of bounce off each other. And I think that's what Souths need. So if you're a Bunny supporter, then hopefully he can carry that little bit of form into this weekend's game. I thought he was good.
You just tell he carries a lot of passion too. You can just see it in his face throughout different times of the game. There's always something in his eyes, in his face. It just makes you think he's just going to come out and explode and do something great.
He's one of them players.
Which he usually does, but yeah.
The old saying of give time to make time sort of thing. You can throw him a hospital ball and he's still, he might get caught every now and then, but he's just got that ability. Everything's in slow motion for him. A bit like Nathan Cleary. It's like the game slows down when they get the ball in their hand sort of thing. He's a really good player. And he's playing some good football at the moment, probably the best he's played in many years.
Yeah, and he needs to play just as well this week if South are to go on to win. I believe he's very pivotal for their success this week. Boys, for me, I've gone Isaiah Yeo. I think he's just as instrumental to Penrith as Nathan Cleary is. What he does is he does so much ball playing through the middle, and that allows Cleary and Luai to have the time and the opportunity to do what they do. And I think a lot of it goes unnoticed. Matty Johns, he said that he thinks he's probably the smartest player playing the game at the moment. The way he threatens the line, he's also always carrying the ball in two hands. The defence doesn't know whether he's going to run or pass, and they're always thinking, what are they going to do? They've always got to stay on top of him. He's got an inside pass and outside pass. He's that link man, and that's who I've picked as my player of the round.
It's a good thing too. A lot of players are starting to do it. That if you're playing that 13 role, you've got to be. It's like a little bit adapted compared to the old 13. You're just another budge man back in the day. You have a look at it now, particularly like your players like your Nathan Brown, Isaiah Yeo's one of them.
Radley,
Victor Radley's a freak. The speed they hit the line, it puts a lot of people in two minds. You run as hard as you can and then quickly jink and then give the ball. That'll show you just how hard it is to do what they do at that level. The reason with that is that it gets defence in two minds. Is he going to ball play? If he's not going to ball play, I've got to commit, because if he doesn't commit, because he's hitting the line so hard and so fast, if I don't commit to him, he'll break through.
Yeah.
So and as you said, he reads the game so well.
And that's sort of got to have at least two on him too, Mark.
Absolutely, yeah.
What about your highlights?
My highlight was the Cheese Man sneaking a little 2040, the first one of the year. It even caught something positive, I suppose, coming out of the week. But yeah, the Cheese Man for his 2040 even caught Edwards. If you watch that again, he just watched it trot over the sideline, and then I think the eyes lit up and he realised exactly what had happened. So luckily the officials were on top of it. Because I was sitting at one of the local drinking holes here, and I didn't even pick it myself.
No, I didn't either until they said it. I said, no, it's not. He kicked it from inside the 40, and then I realised it was inside the 20. So, yeah, good call.
Yeah, you could hear the match official calling. Yeah. It's in the 20, in the 20.
What are we doing? Highlights. My highlight runs into my low light this week. My highlight is leaked video footage of Kevin Munster shirtless dancing on motel furniture.
That's my highlight too.
Oh.
Yeah, dancing on the table.
He's got some skills, doesn't he?
He reminded me a bit of Neil from the In-Betweeners. This afternoon when I was looking up Neil, I got caught down a little rabbit hole of YouTube watching Neil dancing clip. Holy fuck, it was funny. I had tears running out my eyes. If you haven't watched it, look up Neil In-Betweeners dancing. It's classic. So that was my highlight as well. Low light for me, boys, was the realisation that after this week, there's no more footy. Done.
Well, no World Cup.
No World Cup. This is it. Last week of the footy for the season. Last year, we obviously went into the State of Origin, which we had that to look forward to. But this is it. And I was a bit sad, to be honest.
Yeah, get your genuine Okanuis, your thongs, and get ready to watch summer worth of cricket and whatever else, because until trial games, which are generally mid-February, maybe the World Club Challenge, it's a little bit early, but apart from that, it's a long wait.
Yeah, it's going to be sad to see it not on the telly. Be struggling for something to watch constantly over the weekend that is half decent. I think we'll be looking forward to the end of summer, which is a weird thing to say, but that's when it's all going to pick up again. It'll be interesting to see the new sides too next year with the players switching around. My two I'm looking forward to watching next year is Broncos and Bulldogs. See how they perform, but we'll touch on that again later on in the year. My low light, running off my highlight, are the boys in the motel room caught doing coke.
Well, allegedly.
There was white powder substance on the table. Who knows what it was? Could have been some Ajax. Could have been a bit of sugar or something.
Could have been
talcum powder.
The old sherbets.
It could have been, mate.
Sherbet
Whiz Fizz.
The old Whiz Fizz.
Save it for later on. Finish off your footy, then go hit that stuff later on when you aren't so bloody under the spotlight. Be interesting to see what happens to them, actually.
But what about the company that they're in that's filming it? Like,
that's the other thing is where do they come from?
Well, that's
where do those videos come from?
My low light is actually the fact that there was someone in there with them. Not that I condone anything that they did, but the problem is who was it?
Don't know.
It's happened a number of times, and it pisses me off. Josh Dugan, Mitchell Pearce, all them boys. If I'll tell you what, and the thing that pisses me off the most is this is my second low light. So the first one is letting idiots in there, and particularly people with their phones. Is number two is all the criticism from Mark Geyer, Spud Carroll, and everyone like that. You can't tell me they didn't do it back in the day, but back then they didn't have these smartphones. Yeah. They would have the old Nokia 3310 at the very most. He wasn't sitting in the corner recording. He's in the corner playing Snake. It boils me that the fact that some lunatic is allowed in with their phone and they're recording. And if it's a player, I'd be asking some serious questions first thing next year. Yeah. I would not be happy at all.
It'd be interesting to see what the team dynamics are like if it is a player, that's for sure. All right, we finished with that. Everyone's done their highlight, low light for the season.
Yep.
All right, beautiful. Let's move into a three of a kind, J-Rod. I got some positive feedback from one of the listeners yesterday, to say that they love the show, love three of a kind, 21 and done, so keep them coming. So that's what we're going to do. And we love the feedback. Head over to the website. We've got an Ask a Question there. You can leave us some feedback. Love hearing from you. Let us know what you think of the show. If you've got a three of a kind suggestion, get that in. Let us know. We'll consider it and get it on. So really want to make our show interactive with our listeners and our audience. So head on over to our website.
Yeah, get into the website, in the suggestions in boxes and everything like that. If you got a say, if you got an input, or you've got a question for 21 and done or something, let us know. But this week, boys, touching on being a loyal Para fan, I've got a little bit of a low light I'm going to go off, and it's Fergo. I've really enjoyed him playing at Parramatta. I think what he's brought to Parramatta has been phenomenal. Nothing less than phenomenal over the years, and what he's brought to the game. Now the rumours are basically he's going to have a crack at Ra. So he wants to play a little bit of rugby next year, and try and make the World Cup squad. Good on him. Hopefully he makes it. So boys, this week the three of a kind are going to be. I'm going to call them a dual tradesman. Players who have played both league and rugby.
I got fucking a plumber and a plastery.
Well, same difference.
You got to make it a fucking bit more obvious in the group chat, brother.
Well, it looks like you're going to go off your tradesman, which, mate, where we're from, there's probably not many of them. But
keep going. Sorry.
So dual trade. I'm going to kick it off. This one's probably on everyone's list. Matty Rogers. He played both for the Titans. He played rugby as well. He played numerous games for the Wallabies, and he played numerous games for Australia too in league. So he's had a very successful career in both back and forth from rugby and union, and just the way people adapt their body, because it's a totally different body, it's a totally different fitness and stuff like that. So it's actually it's like, say, a league player going to play an AFL, their fitness and everything like that. It's just totally different. So that's my first of the three of a kind. The first ace today is Matty Rogers.
Yeah, definitely a sensational player, wasn't he? He's not on my list. That's only because he doesn't rank in my favourites. My first one is Sonny Bill. He had 5 years there playing with the Bulldogs down at Canterbury. Moved on to the Chooks, had a couple of years with them. He played 12 rep games for New Zealand in the Rugby League Test matches. Moved over to Union. He had 111 games over 7 teams it was, and 58 games for New Zealand All Blacks. So that's a lot of games, isn't it? When you add them all up.
That's a lot of football.
Now he finished that, come back over, had a short squint with the Chooks, and now he's back boxing. So he's one of those sort of athletes that is good at doing everything naturally. Yep. He's like Mr. Perfect, like back in the wrestling. They reckon he was good at NFL, basketball, baseball, and just natural wrestling. He actually took down Brock Lesnar in the plane. There's a story about that. He actually took him down. He's just one of those naturally gifted guys that can just come out, touch a ball or pick up a bat, and it's his game.
He's like one of those people at school that you never used to like, only for the reason that they were good at everything.
Boys, my third ace is Israel Folau. I don't like him as a man. Don't agree with his life choices and whatnot. But there's no denying that he was a exceptional football player in both league and union. Just a few little stats here. So he played 106 games of league and scored 78 tries. That's pretty good. And he's also played 96 games of union for 60 tries. So
that's not a bad record.
He's a bit of a freak. And again, like I said, don't condone any of the hate speech or whatever that he's going on about now. But he was pretty good back in the day.
Not wrong. My second ace, I'm not sure exactly what he played under when he played league, but is Junior Paulo. When he was at Parramatta and he was caught playing third grade rugby in Parramatta for no. That's when he had a wearing headgear and he spelt Paulo Junior backwards, put it on the team card, and he played about 5 or 6 games of rugby.
True.
Before someone actually seen him take his headgear off in the car park and then realised that's Junior Paulo from Parramatta. That's when things went wrong.
Classic.
So my second is Lottie Takiri.
Yep.
Lottie Takiri played many years of rugby, many years of league. Actually came back and won the comp with this weekend, South Sydney being in it. He was there when they won in 2014. Lottie Takiri played on the wing. Realistically, when it comes to rugby and league, there's probably not a lot he hasn't done.
No. And also now part of the Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Is the Pinata, I believe. So anyway, highlight of his career, I'm sure.
Mate, mine's exactly the same as you. I got Lottie down as second. He's played 167 league games between Broncos, Tigers, and then finishing off at Souths. 6 State of Origins, 9 Australia games, and 4 for Fiji. So that's a fair bit of rep footy there as well. When he switched over, he had 67 games for Australia for a total of 30 tries in those 30 games of rugby union as well. One of those cool players too, like we were a bit younger back then. You know, he had sort of like the new fashion look with his hairstyle and that, didn't he? He was one of the sort of trendier type players. I think people sort of looked at him in that way as well, as like one of the cool dudes.
Boys, my second ace is Marika Korobidi. He's killing it over there at the moment.
Absolutely.
So he's only played 76 NRL games, so he didn't have a huge NRL career like some of the others we've mentioned. But he scored 46 tries in those 76 games. Absolutely killing it over in Union and sitting flush with funds as well. He's on about $550 a year. And he played 69 games for the Rebels and scored 25 tries. But also he's played 35 games for Australia and scored 14 tries. So it's a pretty good strike rate.
He's playing really well too, and a lot of people might go, "Oh, that's not." When you add it up, how's this? So, I'm not exactly your biggest rugby supporter. So, Australia won a test against a nation not that long ago, only a couple of weeks ago. They scored 25 points, and there was one try scored. So when you add it up, people might not think there's many tries scored in a rugby career. That's because they kick more goals. Definitely double that.
Yep.
This is my number one ace. And I didn't realise this until I'd watched an interview on Fox Sports. It's actually Ray Price, Parramatta legend. Not only did he win 4 comps with Parramatta, he actually played rugby. And he was basically... So what he was saying, because he's talking about all these bad head knocks, and they said, is this just strictly through league and stuff like that? He's actually donated his brain for scientific purposes. And he said, not only that, he said he used to go and play first grade rugby in Sydney on a Sunday. Used to play for Para, or if they were playing on the Sunday, he'd go and play Ra on the Saturday, and he'd back up. He never actually played for Australia or anything like that off the top of my head. But having said that, for a bloke that was like, if you did that now, mate, that would be absolutely frowned upon. You'd be hung out to dry.
Imagine if you did your ACL playing for rugby on the Saturday.
Well, see, back then too, he said he had a full-time job.
Yeah.
So whereas now a lot of players are under contract, so technically they can't go. That was the drama
nowadays
that you said, Ches, that Sonny Bill had when he's going boxing. That was the problem with Gallen too. Cronulla didn't want him boxing in case he broke his hand or something. So. But yeah, that's my number one is Ray Price.
Well, there you go. You learn something every day. I actually believe too, after he finished, when he retired and slowed down a bit, he was actually a rep for a major yogurt company. He used to travel around and sell yogurt. I shit you not. I'm sure.
Breaking all the big stories here on the Same Game Multi podcast. Don't you worry about that. Ches with the no.
All the inside information. My third ace, Big Brad Thorne. Mate, an absolute giant, wrecking machine, awesome player.
That's mine as well.
6'5", 114 kilos.
I've got that written down as well.
Monster.
Yep. He's huge.
Where do I start here? He had 200 games for the Broncos, 11 State of Origins, 3 for Australia, switched over to Union, 171 Union games over 8 sides, 59 matches for the All Blacks with an 86.44% win rate for the All Blacks, which is huge. Rookie of the Year in 94, Best Forward 97, 2000 and 06, 5 Bledisloe Cups, a Rugby World Cup Championship in 11, Super Rugby title in 08. Now he's a coach for the Queensland Reds, and I'm pretty sure he's the only player to whatever side he's played for, he's either won the premiership or finished with the trophy or the cup, whatever it is.
Got some sort of a silverware.
In every side that he's been a part of.
Wow. Funny thing with rugby, they tend to get around a little bit, don't they?
I've got all those stats as well. The one thing I was really surprised about, though, that you didn't mention, Ches, 22 seasons he's played at the elite level. 22 years.
Wow.
That's just incredible. Started in about 93, 94 and went through to 2015 or something like that, 2016. Anyway, crazy. I wrote down a little thing here. I remember when I was about 15 or 16, I was up at Pacific Fair up at the Gold Coast at the time zone. I used to go up there for the family holiday. And for whatever reason, the Queensland Origin team were there. I don't know whether they had like a meet and greet somewhere else. And anyway, a few of them came into the time zone. And I was just sitting there playing probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, whatever it was. And I remember seeing Brad Thorne and Dane Carlaw. And I was just looking up at them like this and thinking, imagine tackling those fucking pricks. They were fucking monsters. And like you said, 6'5", 114 kilos, you can have that.
Hit them low, down they go.
Nah, I'd be just going off. HIA, so.
Honourable mentions too, boys, when I
got a few honourable mentions, yep.
When I was having a little flick through. This is one I didn't picture in any of me wildest dreams, was Daily Messenger.
I did read that, yeah.
Daily Messenger. So for those who are or aren't 100% in and they're just listening in, Daily Messenger is the Dally M. So he's our pinnacle. He is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to awards in the NRL and players of all time. For him to go and play RAR as well at an elite level and play it well just shows you how good he was to be the best. Argue it depends. I didn't get a chance to watch him, and I doubt that many people out there did. But from what I've heard, his stats speak for themselves.
Yeah, my honourable mentions too, boys. Wendell Saylor. He was probably the first one of our era, Ches, that made that transition, made that switch. He's followed by Matty Rogers, as the boys mentioned, Lottie Takiri, and I also had SBW in there as well as an honourable mention.
Mate, if we had 4 selections instead of 3, my fourth would have been Wendell Saylor. He was very close to making my list.
Well, they say that Wendell Saylor changed how wingers play the game now, whereas the old catch and score, they think they... What I've heard, Matty Johns particularly speaks about him all the time, is that he's the one who changed how the wingers play in the NRL, that they get up, they take that first or second hit up, they get up and get involved, they come infield looking for the ball rather than just being an extra number out wide and just waiting for the ball to come out. He was one of the first wingers to come in, get hungry and get in behind the play and get a bit of ball. So, Wendell Saylor, good player.
Fantastic, boys. That's the 3 of a kind done again for this week. As I mentioned, if you do have an idea for 3 of a kind, head on over to our website, www.thesamegamemultipodcast.com. .com, that is, C-O-M. Scroll down the bottom. There's an Ask a Question. Drop it in there, and we'll get it on the show. All right, boys. Enough fluff. Let's get into the big game.
Did you boys get any multis last week?
Mate, this is the first week. Mate, this is the first week you've had bragging rights in a long time. So
I was just asking, that's all.
Mate, how many did you get through the year?
I got a couple.
Settle down.
All
right, let's get in. 8 o'clock Sunday night. The 2 best teams. Probably not throughout the year, but at the end of the year where it counts, they're the 2 best teams. South versus Penrith. Going to be a great grand final. 2 classic matches last week, especially that Melbourne-Penrith game. That was one of the best games I've seen all season, and I know I said that about the Panthers-Parramatta game the week before, but they just seem to nearly top that as well. So what do you think of the game, boys? How can you see it playing out? Who do you think is going to play a big role? Who do you see winning? Let us know.
I honestly think it is that close. On many different fronts, it's very hard. I'm going to go the Rabbitohs, only because I tipped the Rabbitohs on our very, very first podcast. I actually tipped the Rabbitohs, and obviously I listen to, as people have imagined before, I listen to a lot of to a lot of Matty Johns, Andrew Johns, Brandy Alexander, their sort of podcasts and stuff, and they actually talk about how Wayne Bennett prepares his sides like an Olympics. So you've got 3 years before an Olympics. On the 4th year, you have the Olympics. Basically, imagine yourself on a flat line of just preparation, and then you start to peak. So when you're at the top of your game is right when the Olympics are on. Wayne Bennett trains his sides to operate very similar to an Olympic squad. So I think just the way it shows through the year, they just sort of redline. They just sort of idles rather most of the season, and now they've hit red line. It's hard to say without Latrell, because what Latrell offers is phenomenal. But I'm gonna go the Rabbitohs on the basic grounds that I think they'll be better prepared. Having said that, the best thing this year for the Panthers in my eyes is them losing last year. There's a lot of life lessons to be learnt there, and when you add it up, probably 80% of that squad that's playing this Sunday played this time last year in the grand final. So what they've learned, I think they've learned a lot. Having said that, I'm going to go South only because I tipped them at the start of the year, and I'd like to see that come through. And I think the way they be prepared for this game, I think Wayne might just have them that little bit better.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I actually picked South as well in our first episode way back months and months ago. I picked them last week against Manly. I picked them a couple of weeks before against Panthers as well. They've been featuring in my multis a lot for 19 pluses, 13 pluses, and I think they have the skills to do Penrith. It's going to be close. The markets, with your margin markets and stuff too, you're only getting about 3.5 for your for the line bet. So
very close.
They're sort of thinking the same thing as well. it could end up being a blowout. It could be one of those games where it's tight for a while and then someone gets a bit of momentum in the upper hand and, they won't score 3 or 4 in a row late. But time will tell. I'll stick with my guts and say South, and I reckon they'll win by probably 2 tries. Panthers are missing Tavita Pangai Jr. He had the knee injury there last week with the Storm game, so he won't be featuring this week.
It's a big loss for Penrith, I think. He's brought a lot of impact the last 6 weeks or however many weeks he's been playing for them, so I think they'll really miss that. He actually started last week as well,
he did,
which I think was really good.
It was phenomenal.
Started really strong, so they're going to miss him, but they do get Moses Leota back, I think, Jess.
Yeah, Moses Leota, here's the replacement there. He had the calf injury, so he had last week off from the calf injury. Now he's back on. They've sort of probably equal, almost, I'd say. I'd probably lead maybe towards Pangai a little bit, but I still think Moses can get the job done there. Adam Reynolds, he's been on light duties all week with that groin problem. Another groin problem there again for the around this COVID time.
Fingers, wrists and groins.
It is. So they're waiting to the captain's run to really give him a go. He hasn't been doing much kicking during the week, just trying to rest up. So he's ready for the weekend. So after that captain's run, we'll determine what his role will be. Will we see him taking that role, kicking the conversions, 40-metre field goals, or will it be Blake Taft taking the kicks, Cody Walker making the grubbers and the bombs? We won't find out till the game starts, I think. Bennett will keep that pretty quiet. A few other things just to mention here. The Panthers, they got 13 players with grand final experience. That comes from last year mainly as well.
There you
go. Compared to South only having 4. One of those would be Latrell, so I think they might only have 3 actual playing players that have grand final experience there. Bennett's looking for his 8th premiership. That'll be at his 3rd club since Brisbane shut in the door about 3 years ago, and he'll be up there playing at their home stadium. So he might walk away with a very big smile on his face with the trophy and might kick a bit of dust back up in the car park and might put on a bit of a stink.
The doughies.
Get the old AU Falcon on full lock.
And we'll see if the mind games of Bennett and Russell Crowe will affect Ivan as well this week.
What's Russ doing?
So he wrote in, had a few things to say there about when Toto scored the try last week.
Oh, yeah, they brought it in.
Brought it right in.
How'd that happen?
Had things to say. So, and then he's saying, Ivan must still be in cahoots with the referee squad.
With the referee squad.
I think
I love it.
They're making a little cloud over Ivan there. So we'll see how he takes that. He should just block that out and just go on with the game. Then we've got Reynolds versus Cleary. If Reynolds is 100%, who's going to be best with the boot on the night? I think the boot could win the game as well. It could come down to kicking those conversions from the sidelines and making what's the word?
4 into 6.
Yeah, and then kicking decisions where you make another 10 or 20 metres from kicks instead of trying to do something that you don't really have to do. That'll come back onto their experience. Ivan Cleary's looking for his 3rd chance at a premiership. He missed out obviously last year in 2011 when he had the Warriors.
Yeah, he needs to get one. He needs to get that monkey off his back. Otherwise, he's going to end up with the Brian Smith tag, which I've already started giving him.
Yep.
So he doesn't want that. So should be a cracker, boys. I'm sitting on the fence. I don't know who to pick. I think I'm going to go with Penrith, though. I think. Just before we do that, Toto, he's good to play. He's been cleared to play. And I think there's a bit of doubt over Dylan Edwards at the moment as well. He's still in a moon boot, so I think they will both play and just don't do anything all week. Like, what do they need to do? They're not going to get any fitter in a week.
Well, they've already got match fitness. So.
Yeah. Boys, I think Penrith by 6. I think this will be one of those games where it might be 12-4 or 14-8 or something like that. I think the over-unders is 38.5 currently, which we'll have a look at in a second, but I think it'll be well under that.
Absolutely. I think, they say defence wins games.
Wins premierships.
And South showed that 2 or 3 weeks ago when they played Penrith the first time. But the one thing I do fear is the fact that South have come out and bashed Manly. Is that going to be like a lot of people say? This is why I'm glad it's Bennett's in charge. Like, 'cause you don't want them to get ahead of themselves.
They've had a pretty easy run. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So, but just the way they pumped Manly, for example. Whether that I just
pumped the Roosters as well the week before.
Yeah, not that they've had an easy run, but what they've done, they've sort of gone, oh well, they can just sit back and go, flick the recliner up and go, mate, what we've done before, we bashed Manly, we bashed the Roosters as well.
I know what you're saying. They'll get that feeling when they can sort of just float into the game.
Yeah, like
is this going to be there again for them?
And it's funny when they say you've got to start strong, and it's that sort of mentality. It only takes 10 minutes for Penrith to put two early ones on. And then you're on the back foot, and I tell you what, in an 80-minute game, your first 10, you're 10 points behind. That's a long 70 behind, particularly when you're playing sides of such quality.
Well, look at Penrith last year in the grand final.
Yeah, 100%.
Melbourne come out and it was 24-0 after 15 minutes or something ridiculous like that, and the game was gone. You know,
put the burners on.
They nearly got it back in the second half, but it was over after 15 minutes that game last year.
Yeah.
So
it'll be very interesting if it goes to Golden Point too. That will be interesting.
Here's an equation for you, boys. There's a penalty given on the 40-metre line on the scrum line, so that's about 15, 20 metres in from the sideline. You're taking the two. Who you kicking? If you could pick one kicker from both sides, who kicks to win the game?
Well, if Nathan kicks it, he'll bring it in about another 15 metres. So I'm
going to be right in front of me.
So we're going to go Nathan.
I'd probably have Reynolds.
I probably would, but maybe not with that injury he's got.
I'd have Thurston, but he'd
Halligan
kick posts.
Yeah, Halligan. I'd probably go Cleary, I think, boys.
If Reynolds is 100%, Reynolds.
Yeah. I agree. All right, boys, let's get into the market. So, Top Sport, as I said, major sponsor of the show. Check them out. If you're not already a member, sign up. Click the link in the description below. Head over to our website. Whatever you do, just get on board with Top Sport. Great company and really support our show. Panthers are $1.68 favourite. South are $2.25 outsiders. I thought it would have been a little bit closer, given how bashed up Penrith are. Old Ches is dying over here again still. Bit of value there if you like South.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Penrith have had two really hard games and defensive games. For those who I've only played it basically at a lower level, but playing league, you can score 40 points and it'd be easier than you defend 40 points. Like defence up, down, and just the line speed. The one thing about Penrith is their line speed. That line speed goes for 80 minutes. And the problem is when you're doing that 2 weeks in a row, a massive game against Para, massive game against Melbourne, I just hope they've got it in the tank to do it for 80 minutes.
And they had a massive game against South the week before that as well. The week before, so they've had sort of three in a row.
This will be a real feather in the cap if they can do it defensively. Absolutely.
Yep. All right, let's hop into our multis, boys. So we're only going to do the one multi this week. As I said, Top Sport giving us a $50 each a week to have a bet with. Any of the money we do raise will go to our nominated charities, as we mentioned at the top of the show. So what we're going to do this week, boys, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to do one multi, and we're going to put $20 on it. We're going to do our Sure Thing, Hail Mary, and a Clive Churchill medal winner as well. They're each going to have $10, so that's $50 total. And hopefully you can get some bickies up. I'll kick us off, boys. For my multi, I've got Kickow. He played really well last week after me giving him a drubbing about being one of the overrated players. He obviously listens to the show.
Regular listener,
I think.
Regular listener. So good on you, Viliami, for actually stepping up and taking some advice. So I've got him to get across. I've got AJ, Alex Johnson, also to get across. And I'm sticking with this one, boys. I really like this with the Top Sport market. So the jersey of the South's first try scorer to be one of the outside backs. So either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. And that one's paying $11.15. Thanks to Top Sport.
How good's that little market of picking the?
I love it. The jersey.
Yeah,
it's good.
I've got AJ in mine. Actually, bounce off yours. I've got AJ anytime try scorer in mine. I've also gone the Rabbitohs 1-12, but I've gone Penrith to score the first try. So that might sound a little bit funny, but I've gone Penrith to score the first try. But then I've gone South to come over the top of them at 1-12. AJ anytime try scorer, and that is $15.26 large.
Nice.
Yeah, I've gone, this is only a 3-legger, and I've got some good value here through the Top Sport odds. South head-to-head, Momborovsky, and Cody Walker anytime try scorers, and that's $24 for those 3 legs.
Only with Top Sport. Head on over. Boys, sure thing. I just mentioned it. I think it's going to be a tight defensive game. I've gone under 38.5 points, $1.85.
Yeah, well, I'm bounce off my multi again. I'm going to have AJ anytime try score at $2.04.
Mate, I got AJ into Brian Toto anytimers, and that's a neat $4.
Hail Mary, who wants to kick us off? I'll let someone else go first.
I've gone Appy Coruscant, actually. I had him against Para. He near darted over, and I had him last week. I'm going to stick with him. Third time lucky, and that's $6 large on the dot. Anytime try scorer, Appy Coruscant.
Now, I put this on would have been about 3 hours ago, wasn't it? Cody Walker, first try scorer at Top Sport only, 20-1. So Cody Walker, first try scorer, 20-1.
You'd struggle to find those odds anywhere else, boys, I reckon. So get on to that. Boys, I've gone. He got across for my Hail Mary a few weeks ago. I've gone Moses Leota, anytime try scorer. He's only paying $6.50 a few weeks when I was on him, up to $11. So that's who I've got as my Hail Mary, Moses Leota, anytime try scorer. Clive Churchill, boys, we only get to do this once a year, so let's make sure it's a good one. I mentioned him as my player of the round, Isaiah Yeo. I think he's really instrumental to Penrith, and if they are to get a victory, I think he'll play a key role up there with the likes of Cleary and Luai. And I think I can just see the Australian selectors, that's who picks it as well. They like that kind of player as well. You know, they don't always just go for the halfback or the 5'8". They sort of maybe look a bit left field. So I've gone Isaiah Yeo, $13. Fantastic odds.
If Adam Reynolds was 100%, I would have had him down. Without knowing that, I've got to put something on. So I'm going to swap over and go Cody Walker for that reason. So for the Churchill medal,
paying about $7, I think.
He was a neat $7, and that's through Top Sport. So you'd be lucky to get that money anywhere else as well for that.
Well, I'm just going through the market now, only because both of mine have been stolen. I actually said before we came on the mic, so I couldn't be frig looking, so I'll just stick with it. I was actually thinking myself I was going to go Reynolds myself just for a little sneaky side bet, just to back myself up. I actually said Isaiah Yeo at 13s as well, and then Clint had a laugh and he said, well, that's the same as me. I said, well, I'll mix it up. I'll go someone different. I'll go Cody Walker. He laughed again and said that's exactly what Ches is going to do. So I might as well, I'll stick with both of them. So I'll go Isaiah Yeo, or I'm going to go Cody Walker.
Hedging your bets.
Yeah, so load up, mate. Bigger the bet, bigger the result.
Very good.
Bet responsibly, please.
Yes, gamble responsibly. As we mentioned, those odds are thanks to Top Sport. Head on over. Great odds every day of the week, and some fantastic markets. Like I said, that jersey of the first try scorer or anything like that, they've got some really good markets there as well. So make sure you get across that to do it. All right, boys, let's hop into our 21 and done. Again, got some great feedback about this yesterday. We love hearing from you, so make sure you do message in. Let us know what you like and what you don't like. And if you don't like something, we'll piss it off. We're happy. We're flexible. We want to hear from you about what you want. There's no point us doing something that we like if you guys don't like it, so let us know. But with saying that, we're going to stick with 21 and done. It's been a real winner so far. Not for Ches, unfortunately, but hopefully he can get across today.
Tonight could be the night.
Need to make a bit of room here so he doesn't see all the answers. So I'm actually going to do a bit of a grand final edition, boys. So all of the questions are related to this grand final, South, Penrith, all that kind of space, all right? So that's where your mind needs to be, all right? So let's kick it off. I've got no fucking room here, but anyway, we'll go. All right. Test your buzzer.
Bertman.
Ches.
Both working fine. All right. On the official team list, which two players are listed as number 11 for their respective teams?
Ches. Is it Sewer?
Oh, he's got the wrong buzzer.
Not a good start, Cherry.
Number 11. I'm going to go for Penrith. It'd be Kickow.
Yep, it's one.
And I'm going to go. I'm stuck here for South. For some reason, I've got the Professor in my mind, but he's not. He's playing 10.
Yep. He was part of the New South Wales squad this year. Only a young fella.
Not Campbell Graham.
No, he's
playing the Senators.
His
think Cameron
his
Murray.
his name starts with both his first and second name starts with K. Anything?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Keon Kaloamatangi.
Oh, close.
I love that. Oh, collective. No points. Great start. All right. Who's played more NRL games? Benji Marshall or Adam Reynolds and Cody Walker combined?
I'm going to go Benji Marshall. Oh, wow.
I'll steal that one. You're lucky because I would have said Benji too. So.
Yeah.
So Benji's played 345 games. Reynolds has played 230 and Walker has played 141. So it's 371 total. So a little bit more there for the two combined. So 1 point for Ches. Steals it. All right. Next question. The last time Souths were in a grand final was 2014. Name me the 4 players that are playing this weekend that were in that game. You got to get in quick because I can't edit out the silence
Birdman.
with a video.
I'm going to go Burgess.
Which one?
Tom. No. Yeah, Tom.
Yeah.
So Tom Burgess.
Yep.
Can you wait? Are we classing Latrell?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, no, he was at the Roosters.
Yeah, he wasn't probably even playing then.
I'm going to go AJ.
Yep, it's 2.
I'm going to go Damien Cook.
No. He's got 2 from 4.
Too many moons ago for me.
One's fairly obvious and the other one's not so much. One's carrying the injury into the game.
So Reynolds. Not Jai Arrow.
Not Jai Arrow.
No, he was-
You probably won't. I'm going to give the points to Ches. The fourth one was Appy Coruscant.
Yeah.
He came in the last minute for a suspended Isaac Luke.
He's playing for Penrith, but not for the Rabbitohs.
I didn't say. I said, name me the 4 players that are playing in the game this weekend. Got to listen to the questions.
Yeah.
All right, 2-0. All right, very good. How many grand finals have been played at Suncorp Stadium?
Birdman. 1.
Sorry, let me rephrase the question. How many NRL grand finals have been played at Suncorp Stadium?
Birdman. 1. Well, this one.
Hasn't been played yet.
Oh, that's bullshit. No, that's fucking bullshit. Fuck this game.
0. What a stitch up.
You got to listen
This,
to the
this,
question.
is, this is as bad as Hindmarsh and
You
Fletcher's
gotta listen
scale
to the
of 1
question.
to 10.
You got to listen to the question. All right. Penrith have named Paul Momorowski at centre. How do you spell Momorowski?
Ches.
So you
Here
look
we
at
go.
my notes.
MOMIROVSKI.
Got it.
I was going to give it to him anyway because I ain't even going to attempt it.
That's a good one. He's got that right. Fantastic.
Wow.
All right. How many premierships have the Panthers won?
Birdman. Penrith have won 1 premiership.
So they got that.
It's 2 if it's not 1.
Get one back with the Alexander brothers when they had the old white and brown.
Gonna need
I'm
an
going
answer,
to
Jess.
get Lim and say 3.
I'm going to give it to J-Rod. He said 2, and it's 2. All right. Follow-on question. What years were they?
2000 and Birdman. So 2003.
Yep.
And the other one I don't know because I didn't know they'd done it.
Think about Ches, about what he said about who was playing in that kind of era. And
Well, I'll run off that. I'm going to have a stab and say
it was in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm going to say I was either going to say 91 or 92.
I'd
I'll
probably
lean
go with the
towards
first one you said.
91.
91.
They had a cracking side back then, didn't they?
Mark Guy, I remember they did that little drop out and he grabbed it on the full. And
Fuck the dropout.
Threw it out.
How'd you give him both points when I answered one of them?
5-1 because he got the last.
This is robbery. Robbery.
All right. When was the last time that 2 Sydney-based teams played in an NRL grand final?
Ches. Oh, no, fuck that up.
Over to you.
You sprung up.
I was going to say 2013.
Close.
I'm going to say 14.
Yes.
Yeah, it was actually. It was
2014. So it was the Rabbits versus the Bulldogs, actually.
it was.
Ever since then, it's been either Melbourne or the Roosters.
And the Raiders were in there with the Roosters.
Yeah, but every year it's been either Melbourne or the Roosters or a combination of those two. So, and ironically, being played in Brisbane. All right. Who is the referee for Sunday's game?
Oh, Bertman. Sutton.
Jared Sutton.
Yeah, Jared
That is
Sutton.
correct, yep. What number grand final will this be for him?
Bertman, 4. Oh, no, because it's in a row.
Ches. 6.
One more guess?
Yeah, I'll go. Because I actually read something that's in a row. So overall, when the 2 referees, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to say 7.
Yes. You fucking see that, you win, and now
Yes.
you're getting the points.
Hey,
7's correct. How many Burgess brothers played in the 2014 grand final?
Ches. 3.
Yes, 3. That was Sam, Tom, and George.
Georgie.
No Luke. Another point for Mr. Cherry.
Luke came the year after that, I think.
How many players from South and the Panthers made the 2021 Dally M Team of the Year?
Ooh.
Bertman. I'm going to say 8.
Oh, he's so close.
Fuck.
7.
7's correct. Can you name them?
No.
I can. So Matt Burton.
Yeah.
I actually thought of you when they had him on there. I know you don't like him.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't rate him. Cleary's in there. Isaiah Yo's in there. Cody Walker's in there. Nathan Cleary's in there.
You said him
Yeah, I
already.
know.
He can't be in there twice.
James Fisher Harris was in there. Dog in there.
Someone on the wing.
Brian Tutto was in there.
Someone with a fucking horrible haircut.
And Viliami Kickout.
Kick out. 2 players that we had overrated made the team.
Yeah.
Burton and Kick out. Anyway, now this one I wrote down. Didn't think that anyone would be mentioned leading into the game, into the 21 and done. But what injury will Adam Reynolds carry into the
Burtman.
game?
Ches.
Burtman got in.
Groin.
Injury.
Yes.
5 plays 6. This is close. Which cold chisel legend will headline the pre-game entertainment?
Jimmy Barnes. Oh! There you go.
I love how you get the answer like after you fuck up.
I read it was Timmy Trumpet, but...
Oh, he's there, but he's not headline.
right.
Is it Ian Moss?
Ian Moss. Yeah. Mossy, yeah. All right, 7 plays 5. From the 34 players named, 4 of them have either a first or last name that starts with S. Give me 3 of them.
Oh, it's hard.
Sam Stozer come to mind. First thing I thought of with the double S.
There is a double S, huh?
Oh, wow. So hard when you get put on the spot. I had a mate ring me the other day going, I don't know how you don't get them. Because you're not fucking put on the spot. Starts with S. Righto, Bertman. Stephen Crichton.
Stephen Crichton's 1.
Oh, any name. I was looking for
Yeah,
last names. Okay.
first or
and
last name, I said.
So, Stephen Crichton.
I'll give you a clue. There's 3 for the Panthers, 1 for South.
I'm
Who'd you say?
Jaden Sewer.
Sewer.
This could be a joint point here. Sewer Alan Malauten.
I'll give you another little clue. He made a Scott Sattler-like tackle last week. As in the chase that he did.
I was intoxicated.
Get out. Scott
Sorensen.
I'm going to give you each a point. The other one was Spencer Leniu.
Oh my God.
So you're each going to get a point so you don't fucking whinge.
Yeah, so when you get put on the spot, people don't realise it's actually difficult when you get put on the spot.
All right. Which Panthers player's surname would you find on a calendar?
Bertman, Tyrone May.
Tyrone May. This is close. 8 plays 7. How old is Supercoach Wayne Bennett?
700.
Far off.
Bertman, I'm going to say 76.
Fuck, that's loud.
71.
71, he's got it. Yes, very good. All right, 9 plays 7. South's hard-working front row is Mark who?
Ches Nichols.
Where were you?
I was thinking the professor.
That was in there for you.
I like the professor.
Who has scored more tries in their career? Nathan or Ivan Cleary?
Ches Nathan.
Yeah, I'm going to say Ivan, only because Ivan's played a lot longer than Nathan.
Ivan's correct. He's scored 64. Nathan scored 46. 2 questions to go. 2 points in it. How many clubs has South's Dane Gagai played for?
Bertman, 3.
Yes. Can you name them?
South, Newcastle, Brisbane.
Yeah. Good on you. All right. 9 plays 10.
Oi.
Last question. This is a nearest 2 wins. I kind of thought this might happen, so I put in a nearest 2. So I'm leaving it up to both you boys to see who's going to win.
Sorry.
This question will be worth 2 points, so anyone can win, and you each get a guess.
Isn't it 21 and done? And if it's 10 all at the end of this question, that's only 20.
How many points? No, because one of you didn't get a point for something else back up there. Kaloa Matangi won the first question. None of you's got a point. So fucking right. Ches wins.
Oh, it's all right. I was robbed in the first 5 questions.
All right, let's go. Stop your whinging. How many points has South scored this year? Nearest 2 wins. You can go first, Bertman.
580.
Ches.
700.
827.
Holy shit.
So Ches wins.
Wow.
Ches with the victory. Anyone you want to thank, mate?
I'd just like to thank the sponsors out there, Top Sport especially, yeah.
Whitehall Hotel.
Panthers have only scored 704
Yeah,
in
get a
comparison. So.
You think too, you got like Ruben Garrick by himself with that 300.
Yeah, that's
Man,
fucking crazy,
that's
eh?
Unreal.
21 and done. Done for this week. Love that. I really enjoy that. And, it's good to see Ches get a victory as well. I think that's about 4 plays 2 or 5 plays 2 now.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back through the episodes and check that. But really enjoy that. Anyway, boys, it's time now for...
Beer of the week.
Thanks to White Bull Hotel. Great sponsors of the show all year. And what do they fix you up with this week, boys?
Goat.
Mountain goat.
Mountain goat. So with it's actually it's a heavy 1.2 standards, 4.2%. It says very enjoyable beer. First 3 or 4 sips weren't. Well, it was, but it wasn't. It was it was a bit iffy. Towards the back end of the can, it's warming up on me. I'm a fan of it. I like it. I'll give it 3.5.
Hey, exactly the same as you. I had one just before you got here. We cracked her open. I was like,
I didn't want to wait.
oh, I was thirsty, mate. I thought, what the bloody hell we got here? I've been bloody stitched up. I had a few more sips, and then it actually started to grow on me, and I've actually finished the can, and I wouldn't mind having one more, actually. So I'll give it a 3.5 as well. It was surprising after those first couple of sips how much it started to, I don't know.
Yeah, like the first, it was
The
funny,
likeness just grew, and it started to really come up. One of those sort of craftier type beers.
It's not heavy, but
it doesn't have any of those real strong, full-on fruit or wheaty malt tastes. I could enjoy drinking this, actually.
it's not bad.
Got us to try new things more often.
Very good, boys. Hold up the camera so the punters out there can see. If you are in the local Armdale area, get on down to White Bull Hotel, get yourself a 6-pack of goat. If you're not in the local area, get on down to your local bottle shop and let them know you heard about it on our show. We'd really love that as well. Fantastic, boys. I think that's your favourite segment, Beer of the Week, isn't it?
It's up there.
Got to be up there, I think. Anything else, boys, before we wrap it up? Let's just go back around and get our grand final prediction. Who you got?
I'm going to go Souths by 8. Souths by 8.
I'm Souths, winning between 10 and 12. Let's go Souths by 12.
I'm going Panthers by 4. I think it'll be a really close game like the last 2 games that the Panthers have played the last 2 weeks. Really defensive and, Panthers by 4 for me. Should be a cracker. I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's our grand final edition done and dusted. As I said at the start of the show, we ain't going anywhere. Stick around. We've got a summer series coming up. We're going to look at any sport that's coming up on the weekend, any big UFCs, boxing, darts, horse racing, soccer, cricket, anything. I think there's a bit of Russian curling or something like that. Yeah.
I think it was the under-19 women's curling championship is coming up. So
there's some good value on that as well. It's the top sport, so we'll be looking at that. Anything and everything. We ain't going to stop. We love doing the show. As I said, this is our first ever YouTube one, so check us out there if you haven't already. Make sure you hit our website up, become an SGM club member. Already some great giveaways happening on there, and we'd love to hear your thoughts as well, so make sure you get in contact with us. Anything else, boys, before we wrap her up?
Yeah, if you do get some multis up too, take a screenshot or whatever you want to do and send them through, and then we can call them out on the next week's episode. It'd be good to see what you guys are backing out there, and it might give me a few more options to look at, maybe getting some winners for myself too.
Yeah, big Champions League on tomorrow actually too. Real Madrid, everyone knows Real Madrid, one of the biggest soccer franchises in the world, was beaten by a side called Sheriff today.
Sheriff.
Yeah, so that's...
Sounds like they have about 300 people in the
I've
city.
never heard of them. I looked them up. I don't know, couldn't find the population of the country, so I might have a couple of sneaky Champions League multis and maybe even a Europa League multi on Friday morning. So fingers crossed we might jag one. I might have something different come next Wednesday or Thursday.
Fantastic. Thanks again for sticking around with us. We do really enjoy your company. Hope you enjoy this show, and until next week, don't text and drive.